I am looking forward to the value that I normally get at a family reunion at, I don't know, 1/10 of the cost.
I am most looking forward to the virtual platform. I know it's not the popular answer. Most people miss the going and seeing people in person, and I miss that because networking is great. And the fact that so many more people who would never get to experience this are going to be able to really get a fully immersed experience, it's incredible. I mean, that's the one thing that I've been very grateful for through the pandemic is, the ability to do things virtually has really opened up our world to the level of exposure and the level of top agents and top producers and just incredible minds that we get to now have access to. So I'm excited to see, what KW does with that this year at Family Reunion.
Building the solo business. That's kind of where I'm at this particular moment in my career. I want to grow that before I can move into the next stages.
But I'm really excited about the master classes. So they're doing hands-on workshops with Command. So you can log in for like 15 or 20 minutes at a scheduled time and get hands-on help and work through features. And then there's also specific master classes taught by super high-level folks and more smaller scale, hands-on, do the work, get it done, learn. And those master classes are going to be 20 minutes long. So I'm a big fan of, learn as much as you can. And anytime you say master class or mastermind, and I know I'm going to get a chance to be exposed to high-level thinkers and be able to grow or do something better in my business, I am all in.
The reason I went the first time was recommendation by the agents here in the office that had been in the business many years and had gone before me. And I figured people who come this far in their business and been in business this many years wouldn't take their time to tell you to go and spend, at the time, what wound up being a little over $2,000 if it didn't have a huge amount of value to it.
At the time, I had a 6-week-old baby, so my first son. And I decided, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to jump all in, both feet first. And so I packed up my husband and my 6-week-old son, Harrison, on a plane, and we headed down to New Orleans. It blew my mind. It was just the most amazing group of high-level thinkers and conversations on every aspect of the business and just the networking and relationships that you make. I still have a few referral partners and agents that I mastermind with from that first family reunion.
After perusing even just the agenda that they have for this year, they don't have as many breakout sessions just because of the capacities of what we can do with electronic Zoom as they normally would as the in-person. There's still a really, really, really big variety. And you're going to get, it doesn't matter what session I stopped into, even if it was just a few minutes, I was able to pull one thing out of it. So at the end of the day, of one day of family reunion, and keep in mind it's usually about a 3-day event, walk away with 7 or 8 things that will immediately impact your business.
After 7 years in the business, and I know many of you have been in a lot longer, we all need that reset. And so family reunion, especially coming in the middle of winter in Michigan, especially coming, through what's typically our slow season, but don't tell the market that right now, the ability to just pump that energy and renew, that dedication to what you need to do to make it happen, that's what keeps me going back. It kind of goes back to that Zig Ziglar quote about, inspiration is like bathing. You need to do it daily in order to keep it coming. So family reunion is like the big dose of inspiration that keeps you going. So I know that family reunion is always going to provide me a heads up of what's coming in the industry, what to expect with my business. It's going to help me with any agent that I'm coaching or anyone that I'm working with to help prepare them for the upcoming year and for even longer term trends. So it's always extremely valuable. I would say you're looking at anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 total for the trip, depending on how lavish you go or how much you make your dollar stretch. So it's certainly a big chunk of change.
And with what it's costing this year, and they're still delivering the enormous amount of education, you're not going to get that. I literally get email invitations from all kinds of training companies all over the place, at least once a week. And most of them, just the ticket alone is over $400. And there's one that you still have to travel for, and now you've got travel costs. This is, if you're a newer agent and you're just grasping at straws to try to increase your business, this is about as entry level a price as you're going to get, and then you're going to maximize just huge returns on it.
$80. So what are you waiting for?
Absolutely. Yeah, it catapulted my business. I took so many valuable things that I'm still using in my business today out of that. My favorite moment with family reunion is it's the dinner out with Phil. That's really fun. I've been on a couple of the trips now, and that camaraderie with everybody in the office always winds up being kind of the highlight of the trip.
In my first family reunion, 2016, I had learned about a group called the Keller Williams Young Professionals, KWYP, and they did a retreat the morning before family reunion, and that's a tradition that has continued since. The day before family reunion starts and the day before mega camp, KWYP gets all of their members and does a special retreat for those individuals. And when I say, I mean, I could literally go to that retreat and then get on a plane and go home, and I feel like the trip has paid for itself. The value has been just immense. They've brought in some incredible speakers.
I went to an open house breakout and got the perfect guidebook on running a high-powered open house. And if you want to pull in a lot of people and you want to maximize the leads, both buyer and seller, that you're going to get from that breakout session, it has made my business. So before having any of the exposure to any of the Keller Williams training, my open houses were maybe 1 or 2 people. Kind of dismal. After, now I parade people through. I mean, I did do open houses over the summer, and I would have a line out the door for the entire 2.5 hours that I held that house open.
The first year we had Mo Anderson came in to speak to us, Ben Kinney came in. At the time it was either John Davis or Chris Heller, I don't remember which one, as well as just a panel of just truly incredible top professionals and leaders in our industry. And they came in specifically speaking to the 150 young professionals, because KW really believes that young generation, that group under 40 is the future. And the more you pour into that group, that's where our future leadership stems from. And listening to Gary speak. And, Gary Keller has a way of simplifying even the most complex idea. We're talking this year about Zillow and the crazy disruption with them becoming a brokerage, and now we just found out they bought Showing Time. So I'm so looking forward to seeing what Gary has to say about that, and also how he's going to simplify it so that we all know and are confident with what that means and what we have to do in order to sustain and grow our own businesses.